Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
New York City, 50 years from today. Nothing runs, nothing works.
They gave me a quarter of a kilo.
But people are the same, and people will do anything to get what they need. What they need most is Soylent Green. Simonson, board of directors of the Soylent Corporation, murdered because he discovered the secret of Soylent Green. Detective Thorne, he's got to find out what Simonson knew. Saul Roth, Thorne's researcher.
Courtesy of your next assignment, William R. Simonson, Chelsea Towers West.
When how'd you get all these?
Cheryl, the furniture.
Is that Simonson? Is that a yes nod or a no nod?
Yes.
Hatcher, police captain.
Simonson.
Supposed to look like he was killed when he caught some punk burglarizing his apartment.
Well, what do you say?
It was an assassination.
Tab Fielding, bodyguard.
Why would you leave that door open?
Why did you set up Simonson?
Charlton Heston, Edward G. Robinson, Lee Taylor Young, Chuck Connors. Fight for survival and solve the most bizarre riddle ever to face mankind.
This is the police. I'm asking you to disperse. The supply of Soylent Green has been exhausted.
Why does Soylent Green mean life?
You must disperse. The scoops are on their way.
Why does Soylent Green mean death?
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
Oh, and we're back.
What was that?
What was what?
What, did you play the first 10 minutes of the film?
Well, I'll apologize.
No one asked for that, sir.
Well, I'm gonna apologize to you anyway. Well, actually, what I ended up doing was I had to play a trailer. We always play a trailer.
Right.
But what I've been doing with our slideshows is I'll play a 30-second TV spot because I don't want to watch a 2.5-minute trailer.
Right.
Well, apparently there were 0 TV spots when this movie came out, or there just haven't been any that made it to the internet or YouTube or anything like that. I had a really hard time finding a TV spot for this, like a 30-second or 60-second TV spot, and nothing. So I was forced to play the 2.5-minute trailer.
Okay.
Because we always do it, so that's why I did it. Otherwise, I would have just not played something, but we never do that. So
I was like, did Joey just like go to bed and not tell me?
Yeah. I try not to do that anymore. And most of the time, I find a TV spot. It's just easy to find. It's nothing crazy. This couldn't find shit. So, anyhow, I mean, like even last week, when we did The World's Greatest Athlete, there was a 30-second TV spot. No problem.
Disney, of course. I mean,
nothing for this.
Well, no.
I mean, Soylent Green. What is the secret of Soylent Green? Are we giving that? We giving the secret away, or what are we going to do?
Oh, everybody knows this. That's not even a question. There's no spoiler alert here because there's no spoilers. I'm sorry. Actually, some of the slideshow wasn't even from the movie. It's just like images of parodies.
I saw one now where it was a European market where it had cans of things, and in the middle had cans of Soylent Green.
Right. Yeah.
So apparently there's a drink or there's something on the market called just Soylent right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know nothing about it, so that's why I don't even know if it's a drink or food or whatever. I just know it's called Soylent.
So what else do you need to know?
You don't need to know shit.
So welcome to Moviesucktastic.
Yes, welcome.
Yes.
And this week we will be reviewing Soylent Green from 1973. We've been going over our new format change. This is third week that we're doing it. So anyone that's new to listening, very quickly, we are challenging each other starting with 1973. And when we feel that year has been exhausted, we will move to the following year. So this week is my challenge to Scott.
Cleaning house.
Yeah, and tune in. Keep listening.
That's right. This is your challenge to me, which means I have to challenge you.
No, you challenged me to Soylent Green.
That's right, I did.
I'm challenging you tonight.
Okay.
Which I already have. I already have the film picked. So
you confused me.
No, and later on we will reveal whether we're staying in 1973, or if I feel that year has been exhausted, and if we will be going to 1974. So we'll do that after this review. So now I think one of the reasons why you challenged this to me was because you feel that this film gets a lot of high praise. It's considered a classic.
It's overrated.
And it is.
Yes.
But with that said, I couldn't help enjoying it though.
Oh no! Again, you don't have to hate it to admit that it has serious flaws.
Oh, very serious flaws.
Right. Now, I'm going to mention, since our last show, I did read the Harry Harrison book that the movie was based on, called Make Room, Make Room.
So, did the end of the film, did it end that way in the book?
Okay.
Or was that just totally pretentious?
Outside of the setting and the characters, there's practically nothing in common.
Oh, get out of here, really?
Yeah, and I'll go over some of those. After we've talked a bit about the film, I'll go back and point out some of those, because I think one of the serious flaws of this film is that it took a really interesting topic and turned it into a Hollywood movie.
Okay.
But I'll touch base on that later.
Now, the year that this film takes place in, the trailer says 50 years from now. Now, I'm assuming they mean 50 years from 1973 when the film was made. So, does that put it somewhere around 2023?
I remember seeing something on the screen or somewhere where it said 2022.
2022, okay.
Yeah. Now, the original... I'm going to jump in occasionally with little things like nuggets like this. In the book, it takes place in 1999.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Right, so they added a couple of decades on to make it more future-y.
Sure, they wanted to go past the year 2000.
Right.
Because during that time period, anything past the year 2000 and on was considered, shit, we should have flying cars by now, and we still have traffic and, air pollution.
Yeah, and yeah. Now, the film and the book are both on the concept of overpopulation of the globe,
Right.
and combined with and in feeding the depletion of both the depletion of natural resources and the destruction of the ecosystem.
Yeah,
by man.
It's completely destroyed to the point of where it's hot all the time. Greenhouse effect is run rampant. I mean, like that is during the day, that is what they're living in. It's like over 90 degrees all the time. There was one point in the film where he goes in and they have central air in the what was it, the
rich people house.
The rich people house. It had a name. It was something West. Chelsea West.
Chelsea West, which is the same in the book. I'm going to throw those things out there.
So, and he goes in, do you know it's still 90 degrees outside? And they're all in there having a good time. They're painting their nails, and it was almost like a girl. It was an all girl like slumber party or whatever, because Cheryl, or also known as the Furniture,
okay,
was having a get together of all her friends.
Yeah, let me touch on that later.
Okay.
Yeah, so the film pretty much follows, for the most part, the main character. Was his first name Andy? I gotta remember. In the book, the first name's Andy.
You mean the guy, the CEO that got killed?
No, Charlton Heston.
Oh, no, his name wasn't Andy.
Well, his last name's Thorne. Everybody just calls him Thorne. He's
you know what?
Yeah, and that's probably it's called Detective Thorne.
Yeah, and on IMDb it's Detective Thorne. So I don't think they referred to him to anything other than Thorne, because I watched this with the subtitles on because I watched it upstairs, and I always get from Mare that it's always too loud. And this isn't there isn't a lot of action in this film. There is a little bit, but there's more dialogue than there is action and things of that nature. So there's a lot of people talking to each other throughout the film. So I threw the subtitles on so that I could catch anything that I might have missed because the volume was low to appease my wife.
Yes.
So I saw Thorne on the screen constantly. I mean, I heard it, but I also was reading it throughout the entire film. I didn't read anything that said Andy at all.
Right. All right. Well, I read the book, so that was what threw me off a bit. Because I was trying to remember. Because the weird thing is, all the other characters, most of the other characters, Cheryl, Tab, Saul, Kolozik, they're all those names are right from the book. But in the book, the main character was Andy Rush, Rusch.
That's interesting.
And someone decided that wasn't masculine enough for Charles.
It was probably Charles. I'm not going to be anyone named Andy. What am I, a lady?
You get it? I'm a thorn in the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not quite sure why they made that change, but I probably had something to do with Charlton Heston.
From my cold, dead hands. All right, calm down, Charles.
Yeah, so it follows him, the detective, who follows up on a murder case that turns out to be loosely tied to this vast political conspiracy in regards to the food source that is being doled out to the populace.
Right, which is obviously the product Soylent Green, which is what everyone relies on.
Right, and not just this food source, but the fact that like the plankton and everything is slowly dying, that there's no reversal, and it's all disappearing.
Yeah, it's all going away. It's all going bye-bye.
Right, so in the process, he meets Cheryl, the Furniture, and her bodyguard Tab.
Don't call me Furniture.
Do it. All right. Again, I'll touch on that later.
You gonna touch something?
Oh yeah. All right. Opening of the film. Do I need a 3-minute slideshow to introduce the concept of overpopulation?
Well, I was hoping you brought that up.
How about just an opening shot of like a crowded street, and let the film just explain itself? No, and by the way, that progression of time. If for some reason, the future events all had pictures of people from the 70s. I could tell those hairstyles don't change.
I was hoping you were going to bring that up too.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have anyone in plastic suits or any flying cars. It's just like, this is the year 2022. It's 50 years into the future. And yeah, shit really hasn't changed much. Now, with that said, I guess when time kind of stops, when you have the kind of apocalyptic style future, plague style future that they have, I guess a lot of shit isn't going to change.
Right. Much like in the book, with the depletion of natural resources is also a depletion of manufacturing. They can't make anything anymore.
Yeah, and,
so everything,
and if they do, it takes forever.
Right. So everything is from cannibalized parts or jury rigged. In the book, a lot of times they have like truck flatbeds with boxes on top and people dragging them.
Right.
Like the biggest technology they have in the book is what they call fly wire, which is basically barbed wire they can drop from a helicopter in a bale, and once it hits, it just expands immediately.
Oh, jeez.
Which I thought would have been great for the movie.
You know what? They don't have the money or the technology or the smarts to make that happen.
So yeah, but the movie stays kind of true to the idea that there's everything, nothing works anymore, and what does work, it's they kind of slide on that a lot, but they keep that element there. So everything, like, there's nothing really new. Everything's, for the most part, everything's old and just refurbished. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I think they could get away a little bit with how nothing looks any different. But it's kind of a lame way to do it, but it works. It kind of does work. Oh,
so the camera was shaking. Sorry.
Oh.
I was trying to figure out why my monitor was moving. It's not the monitor. Yeah, now the movie is very pretty.
It does have some pretty nice cinematography in it.
Richard Fleischer does a bang-up job.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the great matte paintings, the old days of the matte painting for the backgrounds.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And,
I mean, they were doing that all the way through the late 80s.
The framing of the shots, too. Like, if I went through and just took a screenshot of every time Charlton Heston was, like, center screen with, like a wide background, I would have hundreds of photos of Charlton Heston with a neckerchief. just looking.
I don't understand, like what was that? I mean, that Charlton Heston must have said, "This, I want to wear this. It's cool, right?"
I must have something to do with the heat. Like, it must be a heat thing. Like, you wear a neckerchief when it's hot.
I can only imagine you getting a heat rash from wearing something like that all the time in that kind of heat.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, I can see in the time period Charlton Heston saying, "Hey, I want to wear this. Is this cool? This looks good, right?" And I could just see someone going, "Yeah, baby. Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck, run with it." Yeah, that's good. Or that train conductor hat, too. That's perfect.
Yeah, it'd be, it's great. It's great.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's those old-time actors, man. It
looks like the sixth village person. I mean,
a lot of them had, like, quirks. You know, they were kind of, I don't know. Dana Carvey was on the Howard Stern show recently, and he was telling a story about his first film, which was Tough Guys.
Oh, yeah.
With Kirk Douglas and Burt Lancaster.
Yeah, he played the cop. They're the FBI agent.
No, I thought he was their parole officer.
That's what I meant. Something along those
lines.
All right. It's been a while.
So Burt Lancaster goes up to Dana Carvey and he says to him, he's like, let me ask you a question. How many movies have you made? And Dana Carvey's like, well, this is my first one. He goes, this is my 73rd film. This is your first movie. I've made 72 more movies than you. Like, and Dana Carvey tells his story. He's like, that's just kind of the way he was. He just kind of had that weird kind of, comedic, take on things. And Dana Carvey being a stand-up comic and all that stuff, he just thought it was hilarious. But it just shows, like, that's kind of how they were. So, like, a guy like Charlton Heston, I could see, like, he's considered, like, this macho, like, like, ladies' man kind of thing. And I could see him coming on set saying, I want to wear this handkerchief. It's not going to be a problem, right? And everyone just being like, Yeah, no, it's great. Looks great.
Yeah, the chicks dig it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, and Charlton Heston throughout this, just with his tight T-shirt. He's like, "Hey, ladies."
Hey, on the bed.
And they have to throw in so much like male posturing, like when he goes up against Charlie.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you want to keep it friendly, don't you? Get the hell out of here. Sorry, Charlie.
Who and I don't remember this, and I'm bringing it up, which is going to annoy me, but who was doing the Charlton Heston's penis bit, where it was like a puppet?
What?
And somebody, I might have been Crank Yankers, I don't remember, but they were doing Charlton Heston's penis, and it would be a puppet of his penis, and it would talk and like say things like macho.
Never heard of that. I'll be Googling that later tonight. Unfortunately, I will be Googling that, yes.
Yeah, you can YouTube it because it's video. It's not audio. So you can YouTube Charlton Heston's penis, like puppet, and whoever did it will come up. I don't remember who did that, but I remember finding it absolutely fucking hilarious.
Hey, what's funnier than Charlton Heston's penis? I don't know, maybe Charlton Heston getting shot? That never gets old for me. I love it. All I can think is during like the final chase sequence when they're shooting it and like they shoot him and he's like struggling in the grass. Says, "My God, the Second Amendment sucks." Oh. So yeah, he goes to the apartment. He falls for the furniture. They have fun together. As any cop would, he loots the apartment.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice pillowcase. That's mine.
And he stays like, he's like, real ice. And he's just drinking the drink with ice. Doesn't matter what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, real bourbon.
Have you ever seen a cake of soap that big in your life? I mean, they really go out of their way to illustrate how rationing and how much they don't have stuff. And I feel like sometimes it goes a little bit too like let's talk about the eating montage.
Oh yeah, that whole scene,
which apparently was ad-libbed.
Oh really? Like
now,
the fact that he couldn't use a fucking fork?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So apparently the director decided on the fly to have them ad-lib the scene because there's nothing better than watching two guys ad-lib enjoying food. And what I found, I don't know how accurate it is, but it sounds to me like it is, that there was that with the screenplay there was a contractual obligation that they weren't allowed to add or edit any dialogue.
Oh, really?
Right. So which would explain why the ad-lib scene that wasn't in the script had no dialogue in it.
It's interesting.
Now the guy that wrote the screenplay based on the book, Stanley R. Greenberg, he doesn't really do anything else, as far as I'm concerned. He did a lot of TV show stuff. Then right before Soylent Green, he did like one TV movie and one actual movie. That's it. I mean, he didn't really do anything afterwards. It was all TV. Like amongst all this TV stuff, he writes Soylent Green, which I mean, I guess it wasn't a big budget film where they needed a big screenwriter.
Right.
But it kind of, the fact that he writes for TV kind of shows in the film, because the film is pretty much laid out very formulaic.
Very much so. Oh, yeah.
Right. So you do have those kind of weird scenes the director puts in. I think the director added a lot to this film beyond what was in the screenplay.
If I listened to the audio commentary, I probably would have found a lot of that out. But
if I'd known you had that, I would have got it from you.
Well, the thing of it is, I watched it over 2 nights because I fell asleep the first night. Watched about 45 minutes, and then I watched the other 45 minutes last night. And both times I'm like, maybe I should just put the audio commentary on. I'm like, you know what? I can't. I'm not going to be able to concentrate. Even though I've seen the film a couple of times.
It's been a while for me, but yeah.
Yeah, the last time I saw anything for this was the scene with Saul, Saul, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there was the scene with Saul where the whole montage that he watches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're in the death chamber or whatever you want to call it.
Which is beautifully done, by the way. All the video and everything, and
Again, great direction.
like they ask him, what's his favorite color and what he wants to listen to, and he was like orange, I guess, and classical, light, classical.
Yeah, I know when I die, I'm going to be led there by Dick Van Patten. That's just how it's going to happen.
It's going to be, yeah.
Yeah, no. Now, Edward G. Robinson, let's talk about him. He's his roommate, Saul.
Yes.
Now, in the book, they were just roommates.
Okay.
Saul was older, and he needed the extra money for food because of rationing, and he went to the police station because he didn't trust getting a normal schlub, and so Andy Thorne ended up with him, and then over the years they became close friends as roommates. So I have a feeling that they didn't want to go into the background, or he didn't want to go to background, and I get a feeling he was. The fact he wrote for TV, I think, comes through because I feel like there's a couple things in the film that are done just to avoid any sexual connotations. So I really feel like the whole point of making Saul his partner, like his police partner,
okay,
was strictly to say they're not gay. No, they're not gay. Don't let the neckerchief fool you. They're not gay.
Well, I don't know if. Well, maybe. I don't know if during that time period that was something that people were confused about.
But not. I'm not saying confusion. I'm saying we're talking about a screenwriter who writes mainly for television since the what was it? It looks like he was back in the '60s.
Yeah. Maybe even the late 50s.
No, early 60s.
Early 60s? Okay.
He's writing like Route 66, the DuPont Show of the Week, the doctors and the nurses. He's straight stuff. So I'm wondering if there's just an impulse not to do things like that. And I think that's the only theory I can come up for why the whole furniture thing.
Oh, probably.
All right. I mean, okay, it's the future. Humans are being devalued. I get that. These are women who are rented out with the apartments.
Right. Hence the furniture title.
They're whores.
Yep.
Okay. In the book, they're just whores.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This whole furniture thing is nowhere. And there's a couple of things you'll be surprised aren't in this book. The whole whore thing, Cheryl is not part of the company or whatever. She just met that guy one night, and he ended up taking her in. And by the way, and also the guy wasn't nice like in the movie. In the book, he was an ass that beat her, and everybody was happy when he died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They made him a kind of not a martyr, but kind of close to it because Charlton Heston is trying. Thorne is trying to figure out why he was murdered because he believes that it was made to look like a burglary. And he was murdered, and Charlton Heston Thorne, he's like, no, it was an assassination. He was killed because he knew something, and I need to find out what that is.
Here's another one for you. In the book, it was just a burglary gone wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes. Also,
so I guess none of that was interesting enough.
Well, the book relies on what's interesting in the characters and the events that they survive through.
Right.
And I guess with this was like, yeah, this is not snappy enough. You know what we need? We need a conspiracy. Yeah. Because guess what's not in the book? The conspiracy.
Oh,
the conspiracy.
Okay.
The whole conspiracy thing is not in there anywhere.
No.
The closest it is that they Thorne, or Rush's character, is forced to continue investigating the murder because the other corrupt politicians that are in with the guy that was killed want to make sure it wasn't an outside gangster team or whatever trying to muscle in on their turf. That's the motivation for him staying on the case for like 6 months, or in the movie a week.
It was like very short amount of time in the movie, obviously.
Well, now and then I
thankfully
again,
a short movie too.
Right. I mean, so that's what they were aiming for too. The book takes place over almost a year. But they said, no, this is no good. We can't follow up these people for a year. So we just condense it into like one story, takes place over a few days.
Wow.
Which is what you do normally for TV movies. I mean, shit's just like, it's blatantly obviously what happened to this.
Well, the problem is, I mean, we're in a time period where even going into the 80s, movies felt like TV movies unless they had large production value and sets and things of that nature. And even music composed by people that did TV movies, they did it for theatrical films, and it just it poured way into the 80s.
Well,
there was a point in time where that turned.
Well,
thankfully.
and that's because you had this talent of television writers when television was the main stage, flooding into the Hollywood market. Right. This guy's a perfect example.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and again, he wasn't even a vet. We're talking 10 years in television before he wrote Soylent Green, so it's not like he's like a 30-year industry pro. This is just somebody who's been working in the industry, and it's okay. Look, you know, this guy is good. He got some stuff done. Let's make a film. I have no idea how he got the part. I got the role. I didn't read that deep into it.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Charlton Heston, the whole thing with him. Oh, well, let me loot this place. Here my stack of goodies. You get your cut. The sanitation people will take the body away, and I'm gonna bang the furniture for a while. And meanwhile,
on the bed.
Right, and he's such a great detective too. Someone's tailing me,
and they're good at it
because I can't find them. I'm gonna go beat up Tab.
Let's go beat up Chuck Connors. Gunsmoke.
I can't think of anything funnier than the fight sequence between Charlton Heston and Chuck Connors.
I forgot Chuck Connors was in this, and I'm watching. I'm like, oh wow, that's fucking Chuck Connors.
Oh man, this is like when they're like kick to the crotch, high kiba, foot to the head,
judo chop. It's like that's why those Austin Powers scenes where he's like judo chop, and he does that stuff. That's why that tends to be funny, because they did that in these movies, but they didn't say it. They just kind of did it, and he's like yelling it out loud, which makes it, it makes it comical.
Sure.
So, but yeah, it's like there was one point where he did this karate chop to the side, and it was so poorly done.
Now, when he realizes he's being tailed,
mm-hmm.
It's while he's walking home on the deserted street.
Yeah.
On the completely deserted street.
It's like he's tailing me, and he's good at it.
There's 40 million. In the book, it's 35 million population of New York City. For some reason, the movie upped it to 40.
40 million?
I'm pretty sure that was in the opening.
Now, does the book explain, what's the population for the world like? Is it just
Yeah, he estimated in 1999 it would be 8 billion.
8 billion.
Right. He was only off by $1 billion. In 1999, it was 7 billion.
Are we up to 8 billion now?
No. Well, maybe. I don't know. I didn't look.
We were up to 7 billion now in 2019.
No. 1999 was 7 billion. I think we're around 8 now.
Jesus Christ.
So he was off by $1 billion for the time frame. It took us 20 more years to get there. Now, for New York City, his estimate was 35 million. The movie up to the 40 because round number. You wouldn't want to confuse audiences with fives.
Right.
In 1999, the actual population of New York City was around 7 million.
7 billion.
No, million. We're talking.
New York City. New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's just around 10 at this point.
I don't even think it's that high.
Yeah.
But it was roughly 7 million at the time of.
Well, I mean,
in 1999. So he was off by 27, 28 million.
Well, I don't want to say they go through great lengths because they don't, but they do show how overpopulated it is. Like, for instance, when Charlton Heston goes indoors. Well, it's like when Charlton Heston goes down a flight of stairs, he's got to go over 100 people, sleeping on it.
Yeah, but even
outside is the same way.
Here's the problem: is this is a film about overcrowding, overpopulation. And yes, there are scenes of the crowded church and the crowded stairwell. And there are a couple of street scenes during the day where there's a mass crowd. But And they throw in the fake, the bullshit explanation of, oh, there's a curfew.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And
Sure there is.
so every time someone goes out at night or in the evening, it's a desolate fucking wasteland. Why? Because overpopulation, everybody seems to be very, very sleepy once the sun goes down.
Yeah.
And here's my argument, because my wife was watching half of this with me. She gave up halfway through. But I was like, this is bullshit. There's nobody on the streets. There should always be people everywhere. This is overpopulation. It's the whole point. If you could fit everybody in the buildings, she's like, but they're all in the buildings. No, if you could fit everybody in the buildings, they wouldn't have to be outside during the day all day like that. Bullshit. So she brings up the curfew things. Yeah, but they said there's a curfew. There's not a lot out there. He's just a cop. That's why he's out there. And you know why I call bullshit on that?
Why is that?
Can you guess?
Why they call bullshit? Why you're calling bullshit on the curfew?
Yeah. You know what else you see if there was a curfew, the mandatory curfew?
You would see people patrolling the streets.
You see people enforcing the curfew.
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
Not a soul.
There's nobody around.
No one.
Yeah,
Why?
there's no one to keep them inside.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, okay, I follow you now.
Yeah. It's just a lazy excuse for. Well, I mean, again.
Well, they don't have the budget. They don't have the
too.
extras either. So.
Yeah, it looks beautiful too, but. I mean, yeah, like Charlton Heston, like limping up the empty street after Edward G. Robinson.
Oh, you know what? They didn't seem to have a problem manufacturing bullets.
I'll go one further. How come everybody's on welfare and they're all wearing rags, but they all got the same goddamn hat?
Maybe
really
they're giving that away at the Soylent Green.
Is that part of the welfare thing? Here's your hat. Here's a hat. You're gonna want the hat.
You need the hat.
Why are we wasting money on the hat? I mean, and when the young hoodlum Gilbert, I think he was,
right,
when he sneaks to Chelsea, see, he climbs down into that the moat, the empty moat, and that's one thing I thought was funny. My wife was watching me, and she goes, "What is it supposed to be, a moat?" It's like, I don't know, I guess so. It's just like an aqueduct. In the book, it's a moat.
It's a moat.
Yeah, although in the book it's filled with garbage. It's not like clean.
Oh, okay.
But as he's climbing down, they got the long shot with the beautiful skyline.
Yep.
And he's climbing down. He's running across, and he's like trying to get up the other side. And like, there's a bridge right there. Use the bridge.
You just walk across that.
Just walked across the bridge. It's right there. We can see it. He's like banging holes in the thing to try to climb. There's a bridge.
Yeah. Doing. Doing. Yeah, when he was banging it, it was just like, man, that's loud.
Yeah, no one noticed that.
Yeah, it was exactly. That's what I was like. That's really loud.
His ultimate stealth mode there.
Ultimate.
I mean.
So we haven't revealed what Soylent Green is, because I think we're getting close to the climax of our review.
Do the voice.
Soylent Green is people.
No, it's made from.
Well, no. He says that first, and then the end of the film with his hand, where they freeze frame it, he starts saying one. Is people.
I want that first one. That's
Soylent Green is made of people.
Because he does that people, like people. It goes down. Yeah.
People.
After you know what, one thing I will give the filmmakers a credit for, during all these action sequences, casualties, innocent bystanders.
Yeah.
Holy shit! In the first crowd scene where Gilbert tries to shoot him and hits the lady in the head.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my.
Collateral damage.
Can we talk about the dump trucks?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Iconic image. It's on the movie poster. It's one of the few things they always show.
Yeah.
If you do a search for screenshots from the film, half of them are of the goddamn dump trucks.
Right.
Now, I give partial credit for the idea of you're just using old technology for new things, and I'll admit it looks cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. I got a couple problems with those scenes. What are your feelings on it?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I didn't really care all that much. I got to be honest. It just I didn't. Maybe you can sway me.
Well, my problem is whenever they showed those buckets hit the ground repeatedly, because for some reason we need to see that over and over again.
Or you're not talking about the dump trucks. You're talking about the scoopers.
The scoopers. They're garbage.
I'm
trucks.
thinking the dump trucks that he's like chasing like near the end, like to get to the factory.
Oh, those are garbage trucks.
Well, they're dump truck, garbage truck. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Okay.
No, we're talking about scoopers. Okay.
With the right scheme, yeah.
Okay.
My mistake.
Well, I mean, I felt that I don't know. They probably could have used something a little better than that, but people probably would have gotten really hurt because the people are climbing on these things, or they're trying to scoop people up, and you had a bunch of stunt people like doing these crazy stunts, falling in, and it looked like there wasn't really any kind of padding in there. So they were abusing their bodies for these scenes.
Yeah, no, there had to be injuries. I'm not.
There looked like there were some serious injuries.
I thought it was a pretty. I don't know how effective it is to scoop up your rioters like that.
I don't think the scoopers were large enough to have made a dent in that at all. I think enough people could have charged the sides and gained access and killed the driver and taken over the scoopers.
And I also feel that
I'm positive of that. In
these scenes where you see the street's awfully clean.
Yeah.
There's like nothing. The street's like they street sweeper sweeping through there. Yeah. This is a street that is swarming with people nonstop all day. There's no garbage on the ground.
There's no garbage, and they're carrying stuff to get like water and Soylent Green, and there would normally be just shit everywhere.
Yeah, there was more garbage left over from the Orlando Trump rally.
Yeah. Hell, there was more garbage after I had my son's 9th birthday party 2 weeks ago.
There you go. Right.
More garbage that day.
Yeah.
So
I think there's a lot of limitations that the filmmakers. I don't know how demanding audiences were back in the 70s. I guess not much, since this film is so widely revered. But I mean, there's just a lot of corners cut on the idea. You're trying to do a film about massive overpopulation, but you're just unwilling to go the extra mile and make sure that all your scenes are vastly overpopulated. Half of this movie takes place in large apartments with 2 people talking.
Right. Yeah.
A good portion of this film is with people alone in a room talking, and we're trying to talk about overpopulation. Not helping.
No.
I just strong. I mean, the 5th time is like, come on, why? Like, I'm going to go to the exchange. This is where we keep the books. And he goes, oh, this great vast room with like 4 people in it. Yeah, how did this get by?
Yeah. It's like, and Charlton Heston can go to Chelsea West anytime he wants, apparently. It's just like, there's like no issues. I'm a cop. You'll spend life in prison for, confronting me or hitting me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like he made sure he's like, you want life in prison? It's like, come on.
Come on, Chuck.
It's a lot of power. Like, he had a key for those special phones that only he could use. And they were cordless, too, because he was running around. Come on, help me! Yeah. He's like, right. It wasn't connected at all. Like, obviously, it's, future phone. In 1973, it's like a phone that's cordless. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know how that's being kept up. I mean,
right? They can't make parts for anything.
Yeah, the book was a lot more into the detail, which a book has the luxury of doing. But really more into like how the infrastructure is flawed and a bit more into politics. One other weird thing is that in the book, what's his name? Santini.
Oh, right.
Is a judge.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, but we have to make sure it's the government is corrupt, so we'll make him a governor. It's like really basic television writing. Yeah. I just. Yeah. Now about Soylent Green.
Yes.
Guess what else is in the book?
What else is in the book?
Soylent Green is not in the book.
Oh, I said that before. Okay.
Yeah.
I was guessing that it wasn't in the book. I
sidestepped that because I wanted to wait for the reveal. But yeah, Soylent Green, not in the book.
Is there anything according to the product? Just
Soylent is in the book, and they make Soylent Soylent meat, Soylent burgers, Soylent steaks.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be a bean product, whatever. But they make protein relevant like pseudo meat out of it. They don't sell it as crackers.
Crackers.
There are crackers in the wheat crackers in the book, and I guess the screenwriter was like, well, let's just combine the two and call it quits.
Right.
Right. Now, guess what Soylent isn't made from?
People.
Not in the book.
Not in the book, huh?
There's no cannibalism. There's no conspiracy theory. It's just a shitty world getting shittier and shittier. That's it. Edward G. Robinson. You know how he dies? How his character dies in the book?
No.
He breaks a hip.
Oh, come on.
He breaks a hip at a counter protest to anti-birth control protesters. Because they're trying to pass a bill making contraception more accessible, and so he went there to rally in support of that. They pushed him down and broke his hip. He eventually died of pneumonia.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, that's it. He didn't follow his body. He's just like, oh yeah, he's dead.
Broke a hip.
Yeah, and the girl leaves him.
She leaves.
Yeah, she's like, this world's shitty. She goes back to the rich guys.
Well, of course.
He doesn't like martyr himself. Like, I want you to stay with him for as long as you live.
Live.
Yeah. No, she's like, fuck this noise. And then the last time she sees him, like he sees her, she's going into a fancy dress party on New Year's Eve. He's like, oh.
Like, oh, I bet it's nice in there. Lots of food.
Yeah. So so the
air
whole
conditioned.
Yeah, so the whole Soylent Green is made from people thing is purely the construct of the film, and I've got one major gripe with the scene where they reveal it.
Okay.
Just one. So he followed. Oh, by the way, remember I complained yesterday about you giving me a film where everybody's already dead in it?
Yeah.
Almost everybody's dead. This film, Edward G. Robinson was dying during the making of this film.
Yeah, didn't he die like a year later or a few months?
Like days after production wrapped.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, days.
What did he die from? Just old age or what?
I forget. I think it was a combination of that or cancer or something.
I'll look it up.
But he knew he was dying, and he didn't tell anybody. And so during the filming of this film, he filmed his death scene.
Okay. Well,
knowing he's going to die.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Like days before he actually dies. And I can understand why he didn't tell anybody, because that's going to fuck up the room.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cancer.
Yeah.
And it was he died January of 1973. Died at the very beginning of the year. You can predict it in advance. It's usually a cancer or something like that. Old age is harder to say, yeah, I got a couple weeks to live. Now there's the whole thing where Charlton Heston says he was actually crying during that scene because of the performance, and he didn't actually know about it, that he was dying. It was just how well he performed. That wasn't a performance. That was like a dry run. You know? That's fucked. Yeah. Watch that scene with that knowledge, and that's just fucked. I mean, there's no bouncing thumb like in The Sting, but that takes the wind out of that scene. So then Chuck follows the body. Yeah, it says here, died 2 weeks after he had finished filming Soylent Green. Mm-hmm. Wow. So he follows the body, yeah. He follows the body, and then he goes to the place where they dispose of the bodies, and he's looking around. Now they put the bodies. He sees them, and they're on a conveyor belt being fed down. Right. And they still got the sheets on them. Yeah, it's like, is that going in too, or why are the sheets still on the? Why is that necessary? Why? Then they showed a scene where there's the conveyor belt of dead bodies dumping them in this huge vat of liquid with the sheets. Yeah. Why are the sheets in there? This is a world where they can't make shit anymore. You're throwing away good sheets? Not even that. You're putting them in the food supply? Extra fiber. No, that's what Holly said. I disagree with that totally. That does not fly.
Oh, what the fuck? For me, that's just a major stick. How does this get by? Where it was like, yeah, oh, they keep the sheets. Yeah, well, we can't obviously we can't show dead bodies.
Yeah, they weren't doing that. They didn't. Again, whether they felt it was something they didn't want to show, but it really probably just came down to money.
Yeah, there's weird differences from the book that it's just here's something very weird that I find. Now in the book, Charlton Heston's character was he didn't loot. He was much more honest, much more straightforward. Whereas in the film, they've got him like this kind of like he's corrupt like the system to a certain point.
Right.
But he'll step in and defend it when Charlie starts slapping around the furniture. But in the woman with the baby tied to her,
Friendly. Yeah.
the book actually opens with that. It's like in the first chapter or two.
Oh, wow.
And it's an old man on the street with the baby tied to twine around the old man's waist. And the old man looks like he's dead. And he leaves him.
Just leaves him?
Yeah, he actually thinks to himself, dead or alive, he's doing his job weighting that baby down. It's like, that was too harsh for them. Chuck had to save the kid.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he's like carries this kid on his hip. He's like, yeah, I got something for you.
Yeah, take this.
Yeah, make it stop, making noise.
Yeah. I thought the priest character, well, who's not in the book at all, I thought he was.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
I liked him though, the acting of that character. And that was a little nod to the book there too, where the priest says, "We have to make room." And there's that theme of the book's "Make room." So that was kind of cool. But I mean, it's just one of these films where over the decades, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, remember that? It was great, Soylent Green." It's easy. It's like Rosemary's Baby. It's easy to remember. Oh yeah, what'd you do to his eyes? Is the kid's baby? Everyone forgets like the details of the film.
Right.
It just remembers the big catch. That, oh yeah, you remember when he yells it? And in some ways, it's a bit ironic, but in a lot of ways, it's not. People will still look back and say, "Oh yeah, that film was great." So it's not. It's really not. It's a very, very pretty made-for-TV movie.
Yeah, and a lot of films fit that bill. It was just a time period. They did not break out of that shell for probably another 20 years, where a lot of the films that didn't feel like TV movies were the ones that excelled, the ones that got nominated for Oscars, because they broke that mold. Even back in the 70s and 80s, you could always tell a film was just different. Like the movie I'm challenging you to is basically a made-for-TV film with nudity. It is really what it comes down to. So,
was there really that much nudity?
The movie,
not in this film.
No, there was no nudity in this film.
No.
There was barely even side boob.
You know what? It even has
the movie I'm challenging you to will completely fix all of that.
By the way, I'm just looking right here now at the rating. If I'm not mistaken, this film has a TV rating.
Well, I'm looking on IMDb. It's let's see, on IMDb.
I'm seeing TVMA. I'm not seeing an MPAA rating. Am I looking in the right spot?
PG. I'm seeing a PG rating on IMDb.
Where?
Up at the top, all the way at the top, all the way underneath Soylent Green, where it has the runtime. It's PG's right next to it.
I've got TVMA.
What? Your screen says TVMA?
Right next to the runtime, it says TVMA.
Well, what browser are you using?
I'm using. Why does that matter? But yes, I'm using Edge.
Edge. All right. It matters because IMDb, different code is written for different browsers.
But why would it have a different rating?
I don't know. Because they grabbed a different part of the server, grabbed information.
Oh, thank God! This has a parent's guide. Oh yes. I wonder.
It says PG on Edge for me as well.
Yeah, mine says TVMA. I don't know. Don't ask. I don't. I give up. But there's a parent's guide, Joey.
And that's up at the top?
Yes. I'm beyond that now. I don't care anymore. There's a parent's guide.
Well, it's rated PG. Oh, really? Let me find that. And
I'm trying to see
can
if
look at
anybody
that together.
I want to see if anybody complains about. Frightening and intense sequences is the title's food.
I love the first one. The first one.
Women are shown with deep cleavage, short skirts.
For sex and nudity. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
A woman disrobes. Her upper back is seen, and she goes under a bed sheet.
Oh my god.
There's a split second where I thought I was going to see Chuck's junk. When he gets in that bed, there's a split second where it's like, oh, there's like so close. A man undresses. His upper body is shown and joins her. They kiss. Attractive women are referred to as furniture. I don't like that either, but for the wrong reasons and wrong punctuation form. Violence and gore. A man slaps women. One has blood from her lip and she whimpers. Oh, yeah. A woman is shot in the head at close range. No, she's not.
No,
she's not shot at close range.
It's not close range. Obscured and not gory.
Yeah. So why is it bad?
A man is shot in the leg. They should just say Charlton Heston is shot in the leg.
I don't think that. I think they're supposed to be generic. A man beats another and roughs up his woman. A woman.
A man undergoes assisted suicide.
I'll give you that. Two characters fall a long distance. He's talking about the two railing kills.
Yeah.
When Chuck kills two innocent workers at the factory. Dude. It's like, you're trespassing. What the? Railing kill. Those poor guys. A woman is shot in the back.
A man is crushed to the height of a few inches by a large bulldozer scoop. The crushing is shown, but the body is obscured and not gory. Later, his legs are shown sticking out from under the bulldozer scoop, surrounded by a pool of blood.
Yeah, and he wasn't even facing that direction either. What the fuck was that?
No, I know.
That was like a takeaway shot later. They just, continuity was on vacation or something.
They don't talk about the violence that happens to the priest.
Does it matter? Yeah, well, he was black, so most of these people.
Wow.
Don't care. It's not me. It's these like insane Christian right wing white parents that are concerned that their kids are going to watch a film that has violence in it.
Yeah,
they're the ones.
That is true.
They're the ones who are blanking when the black guy gets shot. You know. Don't blame me. I didn't.
I'm not blaming you.
Oh, I love it when they count the profanity. 2 instances of son of a bitch. 13 instances of damn.
Blank? Well, what is the blank? What is that? Damn what?
I don't know. Damn. Usually it's goddamn, and then they blank out God.
Right.
Maybe just think they got it backwards. What else would it be? Damn blank?
I don't know. 10 references
to deity.
Oh boy. Some of them may be seen as respectful, while some may be seen as disrespectful.
They didn't even put God. 10 references to deity. Wink, wink. You know which one.
2 instances of the word schmuck? What?
1 instance of the word bullshit. 12 instances of the word hell. 1 may refer to the location. Does that matter?
People suck.
The 10 references to deity, some of them, and when you say some of them may be seen as respectful, what by some may be seen as disrespectful, I guarantee that's because, like, I think the priest may mention God once or a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like, a priest said it. I'm confused now. I don't know. That's going to chalk that to a maybe. I mean, what the fuck? Damn Yankees? No, that didn't work.
I don't know.
I feel like it's goddamn, and they did it backwards for some half-ass reason.
You know what? I bet whoever wrote this, if they put the underline and then damn, I bet they feel like they've said it.
You know what? Based on some of the fact that they're iffy, if a priest can say God, and they can even say God, yeah, I'm with you on that. They had no problem spelling out bullshit, though.
Yeah. People smoke cigarettes. A man tries a cigarette.
Let me say this one. Let me say this one, please.
Okay,
please.
Go ahead.
A man tries a cigarette and expresses pleasure with the experience. I'd smoke 2 or 3 a day.
If I could afford it.
People drink alcohol.
Oh man.
That line there actually just like describes like any evening.
Yeah. Frightening
Anywhere.
and intense scenes. Heston's character searches for the first time they referred to him in this at all. But before it's always, a man tries a cigarette. It's Charlton Heston. He's the one that has the cigarette in the movie. Charlton Heston's character searched for the murderer of the title's food-producing corporation's president and discovery of the secret of this food. That's frightening or intense. They just basically said the whole movie is frightening and intense. That's the plot of the whole movie.
Yeah, very intense. Well,
Ridiculous.
You could sum all this up into PG, but
Yeah. All right, so we should go and rate this. I imagine.
I just want to. I pretty much touched on all the major differences between the book that I noticed that really irked me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's.
It
just. But honestly, the book. I feel the book is so much better than the movie, based on the substance. But the film's pretty and worth a watch.
It is a pretty film.
Yeah.
And it definitely helped pave the way for better movies. So.
Sure. Now, what do you want to rate it?
Well, it's currently sitting comfortably at a 7.1 on IMDb. It's a little high for me.
Unacceptable.
I would go a 6 though. I think this is a 6.
I agree. And the only reason it's down to a 6 is because of the writing. I am not a fan of Stanley Greenberg. Sorry, sir. I actually believe he's dead. But I mean,
I'm sure everyone is dead.
I just feel Charlton Heston isn't dead, is he?
The fuck, yeah, he is.
When did he die?
Let's find out.
Oh.
Are you just thinking of Clint Eastwood? Because he may live forever.
No. Well, Lee Taylor Young has to be alive because she wasn't that old. Yeah, she's still alive.
Charlton Heston died 11 years ago.
Oh, shit. Let my people go.
Are you talking about the woman that played Cheryl?
Yeah, she's still alive.
Is she still alive? Yeah, she's had some work done.
It happens.
She's only 74 years old. So she's pretty young.
Dick Van Patten can't be dead, though, right?
I think he died he died like not that long after Spaceballs, like 10 years.
2015.
Holy shit! He only died 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I put that guy in the grave 10 years after Spaceballs. I was like, he died in like the 90s.
Well, we know Edward G. Robinson's dead.
Because he was not old, but he was like already an established actor when he did this film. He's like, he had salt and pepper hair. I mean, like, he was definitely...
Gilbert's still alive.
He's 86. Shit. Gilbert?
Yeah. He's alive.
Get out of here. Stephen Young?
Yeah.
Huh. He's 80 years old. He's the same age as my dad.
So do some young people here. Or some people still alive here. That's not bad.
Not bad.
All right, so, yeah. Soylent Green is made from people.
Made from people.
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 That's my new ringtone as of tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a challenge for you.
Yes, please.
So everyone, if anyone has been waiting to find out if we are staying in 1973 or moving into 1974, we are moving into 1974.
Really? Nothing else in 73?
Well, there's a couple of things in 1973, but we've mentioned them on the show already, and I'm glad we didn't actually review them because I was like, you know what? They're okay. I mean, like, we had Day of the Dolphin. That was 73. What was The Crazies was another one.
Which we kind of covered that in our Romero episode.
Yeah, and we did talk about the remake of The Crazies a little bit. We didn't review it.
Yeah,
and
again.
we did bring it up a little bit when we did that. So I kind of felt like if we did Day of the Dolphin, we were going to have to do The Crazies, and then we'd be moving out anyway. I just kind of feel like we're done with 73.
You know, we're gonna have a hard time, even though we've exhausted a lot of it. We're gonna have a hard time moving from year to year once we hit the 80s. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Because
There's still a lot of shit we haven't covered in the 80s. And we've covered a lot. Most of our stuff has been 80s based.
Yeah, and in 1974, I believe we've actually reviewed a couple of movies from 1974 already, or at least one.
Oh,
because I was looking at films from 1974 to try and get a challenge to you, and I don't think we're going to be in 1974 very long.
And you got that list I sent you of all the movies that I cataloged we've already reviewed, right?
That is correct.
All right, yeah, because we're trying to keep on top of that now after the whole caveman incident.
Yeah, it's not the first time that's happened.
No, it's not, but it's the most recent.
Yeah. So
Joey,
yeah.
Occasionally you stumble, and that's why I'm here.
That is why you're here. Yes.
Yes.
That's.
I'm here. I'm here to. I'm here to help in and pitch out.
That the oh, I got one more day. One more day.
So what am I?
Then the weekend.
Give me a hint.
Okay. It's a prison film.
Oh no. Prison film. Eh?
Oh yeah. And it's actually, I didn't even know this. It's directed by Jonathan Demme.
Who's that?
Jonathan Demme is the famous director that did Something Wild.
Okay.
He did Silence of the Lambs, like that Jonathan Demme. He did this film in 1974, and he was 30 years old when he made it. I had no idea that he was making movies in the 70s, and I had really no idea that he made this movie. It's a prison film. It involves women. It's probably the most, or one of the most famous female prison movies ever made.
So we're going right into exploitation cinema.
I think we got to do it.
All right. You know what? There was a couple of blaxploitation films in '73 that I was looking at, and I was like, I just don't feel comfortable wading into it right now. I mean, occasionally when there's one I really like JD's Revenge,
right?
I'm all about it.
Which we've already reviewed.
But I mean, it's like I think Blackenstein was one of them in '73.
Blackenstein.
I was like, yeah, it's a little too easy.
Well, this is I guess, sexploitation is what this really comes down to.
Oh yes. Now, so let me try to guess the name. We're talking classic.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
So we're what's the name? There's Caged Heat.
There it is.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Oh, first guess. Wow.
1974.
That's all subconscious, baby. That's just like buried in the back there, waiting to come out.
I mean, if you told me it was a female prison movie, it's going to be, I'm thinking Caged Heat.
It's
going to be
a whole childhood. That's a whole childhood watching HBO After Hours and Skinamax.
Oh yeah,
right there, built up in cerebrum.
What the hell was the one with Linda Blair, which didn't come till like the late 70s, early 80s? The one she did was pretty famous.
Catholic High School Girls in Trouble?
No, Linda Blair made a prison film. I'm pretty sure that she did.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, you know what I just got recently?
I
got the made-for-TV movie about teenage alcoholism starring Linda Blair.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah, it's like The Problem with Susie or something like that. I haven't watched it yet. I was like, I'm dying. Like, all right.
Let's see. What did she do? Oh, maybe she was... Oh, Chained Heat.
Chained.
Yes.
Chained
Heat, which she did right before Savage Streets, which we reviewed.
Well, which one did I just say?
You said Caged Heat.
Caged Heat, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
and you got it right.
All right.
That's like, in my opinion, that's probably the most famous of all of them. And that's why I think we should review it.
I'm with you. I think it's a direction we don't go into too often. And, yeah, I'm definitely there.
There was no nudity in this film, and there's going to be tons of nudity in my challenge of Caged Heat.
Oh, can't wait for those slides.
And you know what? We're going to be able to do it. We got to have those slides in the YouTube.
Yeah.
It's got to happen.
Don't worry, I'm going to painstakingly take my own slides for this one.
Okay, good.
And now we have reviewed. We did Last House on the Left.
Not the original, I think. Oh, did we do the original when we did the remake?
I think so.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, we probably did.
And I know we did Rabid Dogs, which isn't really sexploitation, but they both have forced urination.
Rabid Dogs was that episode 1?
It's like one or two. It's one of the first episodes.
Yeah, I mean, that was when we were, kind of reviewing 5-6 movies in an episode, where the review lasted anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, half hour. We were just cramming a ton in.
And we were at that point we were just like, all right, I seen this recently, let's review it. We were doing a lot of stuff we'd just seen, like Dead Snow.
Dead Snow, and yep. We did a whole episode on Christian horror films, and we did a Halloween episode. We did...
that Christian horror films, that was me, by the way.
Yes, it was.
Yes,
it was. We did films like The House and 3 and all that shit.
Yeah, but no. And by the way, when we hit the 80s, we're doing Black Roses.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're finally getting that shit done. This is why we're cleaning house here. The things we should have done and never got around to it.
Yeah. There's a new show on AMC called Nosferatu, and when me just bringing up the Christian horror film of 3, where it had THRE, the number 3 and the number 3, and it's like, aren't we over putting numbers in movie titles? And Mare is watching this show, and she really enjoys it, and it was on she put it on last night, and I watched a little bit of it. It's okay, but the title of the show has the number 4 in it because it's NOS, N-O-S, 4 ATU, and it's like,
oh, that's that Joe Hill book.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, Nosferatu. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, is the 4 significant in some way, or is it just
it's a
marketing?
License plate. It's a license plate.
It's a license plate.
Yeah, it's a personalized license plate on the cover. I haven't read the book yet, but the cover is a personalized license plate. It's Nosferatu. That's why it's like that.
But even with that, it's kind of dumb in my.
But it's not a title. It's based on the book. Literary wise, I give it a slack.
All right. I'm still not going to watch it because I could give a shit about anything vampire related.
I don't know. Joe Hill's. I don't know. I'd give it a shot. Did you hear that Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D is going to be getting a 3D theatrical release?
Wait, the third movie from 1986?
Yeah.
Really? They're going to redo the 3D or something?
That's what. That's what I heard. I'm checking now to see if I can get confirmation on this. Friday the 13th 3D. It should be in the news if this is accurate.
It's funny. This is year 10 of the remake of the original Friday the 13th that they did, that they announced a sequel for but never made. That remake came out in 2009. That really bad Friday the 13th remake, but a really bad remake that actually made quite a bit of money. And they announced a sequel to it, and it just never happened. So I imagine at this point, they would just reboot that again if they were going to make more Jason movies. I mean, it's been 10 fucking years. I wonder what they're waiting for. If done correctly and they release it at Halloween, they could probably squeak another 4, 5, 6 movies that make money pretty much guaranteed every Halloween. I don't know. Don't know why. And then they tried to do the same thing with Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street when they did that remake in 2010. And that was terrible. And they never made more sequels to that either.
All right. I don't have any confirmation on it, but I think it's happening.
All right. Well, we'll look into it and we'll bring it to the show next week.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So let me go ahead and end this.
End it, baby.
I'm going to end it. I'm going to end you. So, what is this? This is episode 302. Oh, yeah. So, as always, thank you for joining us for another episode of Micro. Yeah, listen to me. I'm tired, dude. I am so fucking exhausted. I'm going to fall asleep on my couch. And I'm going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning like I've done every single night this week. Instead of laying in bed and just falling asleep in bed, I'm going to go fall asleep on my couch. All right. go to our website at Moviesucktastic.com. You can download the show there. You can listen to the show there. You can tune in live every Thursday at 8 o'clock and hang out with us while we review the movie of the week. You can leave us email. The address is themovieguys@Moviesucktastic.com. If you want to leave us voicemail, which we will play on the show, it is 908-514-4470. You can go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Moviesucktastic. You can go to our Tumblr page at Moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And you can also go to iTunes and download the show there as well. I still have to look into what's happening with iTunes. But in the meantime, you can get our show in a myriad of places like Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google. It's just do a search for Moviesucktastic and you'll be able to download us just about anywhere at this point. And of course, you can download the 100% free app for your Android devices. Everything I said is in that. It's 100% free. It's awesome. You should just use it. You can put it in your car. You can, with your Android device, you can connect it to Bluetooth if you have that ability. It's how I listen to our show. It is completely seamless and it is awesome. And that about does it. Do you have any words of wisdom, Mr. Wilson?
You know where this is going.
I know where it's going. I need to hear you say it.
Soylent Green is made from people.
People. Then the hand goes up and they freeze frame it. So it's like he doesn't die. He's shot. Doesn't die. And
He's dead. He's dead.
No, they left it open-ended because Charlton Heston is like, I don't want... you can't kill me. And they're like, okay, Mr. Heston, we won't. And that's why the movie ends that way. Anyhow. Alright, everybody. We'll talk to you next week when we review Caged Heat.
Oh.
Lots of boobies in that one.
Boobies.
Boobies. Oh. Alright, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See?
Boobies.